Everything looks pretty good from here. Alright, what's going on, everybody? So, finally going to be able to test some Weezing. Been wanting to build this deck in paper for a while now, but unfortunately don't have the Weezings yet. But I have been testing it online a little bit, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. So, I'm going to do a little quick overview of the deck real quick, and then we'll go ahead and jump to some games today. Sorry about also starting a little bit late. There was a little bit of traffic on the way up here. There was an accident and had to be stuck in traffic for a little bit. But let's go ahead and go over the list real quick. So, of course, the mainstay of the deck, we're in 4 Weezings with Detention Gas. So as long as this Pokemon is your active, put 1 damage counter on each of your opponent's basic Pokemons between turns. And Spattering Spludge. So for just 2 colorless, does 40 damage, and this attack does 20 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon that has any damage counters on it. So, fantastic spread. So, it doesn't even really matter if your opponent is playing evolutions, still putting 20 damage every time to everything with a damage counter on it, which you're constantly going to be spreading damage. With Detention Gas going to be triggering, and Spattering Spludge to the active, just going to be doing a lot of spread. But on top of that, we're also running, if I can find them, 4 spell attacks. So when the psychic Pokemon this card is attached to is knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, put 4 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. So just more way to spread damage. We got 4 of them. And we're also running 4 copies of Shrine of Punishment. So if our opponents are running any kind of GXs or tag teams even, it's just going to spread even more damage between turns. And this stuff racks up really quickly. So how do we take advantage of this? The great thing is we're single prize attackers. So our opponent can keep, knocking us out and knocking us out. It doesn't matter. We're going to be able to put so much damage out on the field that it's not really going to matter. And we either get there with Weezing or we close off with Tapu Lele and Magical Swap. So, of course, if we're going to be running Magical Swap and moving the damage counters around, got to have counter energy. So we're running 4 of those. We're also running 1 counter gain. I would like to try to make room for another counter gain in this list. Unfortunately, I'm really liking where we're at right now. But we also got 1 Tapu Koko in here just as a free retreater. Can also Flying Flip, spread some damage around as well if we can't necessarily get the Weezings online. We've got 1 Ditto, basically acts as an extra coughing here in this situation. We've got 1 copy of Oranguru for instructing. A lot of times our hand size is going to be really low, so being able to instruct for more cards is always helpful. 1 Let Loose Marshadow. Marshadow isn't necessarily needed in the deck, however, it's just really good against opponents, turn after turn. They're just getting a lot of cards in their hand. Just being able to shut them down late game is super helpful, or against certain decks like Baby Blacephalon where they really need a good setup, maybe Let Loosing on the first turn can really help us out. Definitely the cards that are really helping us out here in the deck for techs especially is Mew for Bench Barrier. Prevent all damage done to your bench Pokemon by your opponent's attacks. So this actually helps in the mirror match a lot. So when our opponent goes off and they try to Spattering Sludge, that extra 20 damage is going to be prevented with Mew on our bench, so that's really going to be helpful. The other thing to prevent our opponent from playing things like Acerola is Mr. Mime with the Scoop Up block ability, so they can't put any Pokemon back into their hand and essentially get rid of all those damage counters. So that is going to help us further our strategy here. And then our spicy tech for the deck, I've seen this floating around a little bit online, but not too terribly much. It's Frost Rotom. Now, normally the Rotom deck is kind of a meme at this point where you're trying to have 9 or more tool cards in your discard pile so you can ignore the energy cost and then you basically just attack for free. But here, since we're running counter energy, we don't really care about the energy requirement. But Frost Crush, this attack does 20 more damage times the amount of energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon. So this is going to be really good. Again, we're not going to be taking tons of knockouts. We're going to be really getting our knockouts all at the same time. And Frost Crush is going to be really good because our opponent's going to keep playing down energy and just more and more damage over the time. Plus, it's great against fire decks. So, Reshiram Charizard, they're going to always have a lot of energy, sometimes between 4 to maybe even 6 energy on them at any given time. So it does 20 more times that. So that's, let's see, so that's 120, 130, and then times 2. That's almost a knockout by itself. And of course, it's probably going to have damage counters on it from Weezing, so that will be a one-shot. But yeah, Frost Crush against Reshiram Charizard is really good. Even against Buzzwole Pheromosa, when they're trying to load up energy with B-String. It's good against Blacephalon GX. It's good against Baby Blacephalon. It's just a good card as of right now. So I'm really happy with that. Running 2 Counter Catcher, 2 Escape Rope, 2 Mysterious Treasures to go ahead and help us get our Coughings out. 4 Nest Balls, 2 Rescue Stretchers. Being able to chain Weezings is super important in this deck, so having access to Rescue Stretcher and being able to get them back or shuffle them back into the deck is really, really good. 2 Ultra Ball. Most of the things that we need to search for in the deck, we can search out with Mysterious Treasure, but if we need to absolutely go get an Oranguru or go get a Frost Rotom or a Tapu Lele to win the game, you know, it's an option. Same thing with Marshadow. For Cynthia, not really looking to draw a million cards here in this deck, so a lot of our key pieces we don't necessarily want to get rid of off the draw if we have to discard down to Lily to draw into them, so Cynthia's super good here. 1 Erica's Hospitality, good just for extra draw support. 2 Guzma. Since we're already running 2 Escape Rope in the deck and 2 Counter Catcher, we don't need to go super heavy on the Guzma line. But we do also have 4 copies of Lily, just because getting that turn 1 Lily for a bunch of cards can be super helpful, especially if our hand is kind of dead. One thing that I have thought about putting in the list is the Resource Management Oranguru. However, it's just kind of, it's so important that we're able to chain off these Weezings and these detention gases that I don't think we necessarily have the room nor really the leisure, I guess, of having a Oranguru here in this list. So we do kind of have to be cautious of how much special energy that we are pitching in the discard pile, because we are running 4 counter energy and 4 double colorless. So that's all the energy we have in the deck. We do have 1 counter gain, but again, from what I have tested, counter gain, just slapping it on an Oranguru is super powerful, because again, a lot of these new Pokemon, heck, even Pikarom, Reshiram Charizard, Celebi Venusaur, they're slapping down a lot of energy on these Pokemon, and being able to use Psychic against those big tag teams can sometimes mean the difference of winning the game or not. So, well, that's the list right here. Let's go ahead and get some quick games in with it. Not too many bad matchups either, at least from what I've seen. Alright. So we're playing against Chaydog01. What does Mr. Dog have for us today? For our opponent will choose if they're going first or not. Alright, we are going first. All day, every day. Not the greatest start in the world, but we can work with this. Really kind of depends on what our opponent has, but I think we can go ahead and just bring up the Coughing here. And we're just going to see what our opponent's playing. Reshizard. Okay, so they can get the turn 1 knockout on us. What I really actually want to marsh out of them this turn, because I feel like Reshizard kind of needs everything to be able to get set up. Mew isn't huge in this matchup here. We definitely do want to go ahead and put down the Mr. Mime. I think let's go ahead and drop the Shrine. We can actually pitch the Mew to the Mysterious Treasure. Let's just see what's in the deck first. We might still have to go get a Coughing. Alright, we do have access to Marshadow. I don't want to be too greedy here. Let's just go ahead and grab a Coughing, especially since we only have 3 of them in the deck right now. Or 2 in the deck. Okay. And let's Lily for a bunch. Okay, so we do still have access to Ultra Ball. Let's go ahead and go get that last Coughing. Now, our other option here... We do have a Weezing in our hand. You know what? I do feel like that we can be a little bit greedy here in this matchup because we really do want to put our opponent as far behind as possible. So let's ditch an Escape Rope and a Shrine. Let's go grab the Marshadow and let's let loose. Alright, perfect. We actually have a lot here. Okay. Let's go ahead and slap down this spell tag and let's pass. We got Cynthia for next turn and another DCE, so we should be good to go. Because if they have Welder in hand or a way to go get Lele, they can attack this turn. But if they do, it's going to have to either be for a really wimpy Outrage, or they're going to have to double Blaze. Or they could have a way to go ahead and switch into this Volcanion. It looks like they do. Still going to be fine. Alright, it's on to us. Frost Rotom is really good. I actually don't mind benching it here because if our opponent goes after Frost Rotom, it's just another turn that we have access to Weezing. We can also get it back with Rescue Stretcher. Let's go ahead and toss this down here and let's Cynthia. No Weezings. That is unfortunate. So really about the only thing we can do here is foul order and pass. Oof. Rip. Oh, that feels really bad. Still not too terribly worried, though. Obviously, we would like to be going a lot faster here, but it looks like our opponent's kind of stuck as well. Okay, so they're going to be able to retreat into this Charizard if they want to. That's fine. Let's see. They don't have Knockout with... Yep. So they are going to have to double Blaze and waste their GX attack. Hello, Garrett.
I just beat Pyro Prison with Death Shadow.
Nice.
And it was Joey Strickland, the guy that was like, oh, it's Pyro Prison, not Monterey Prison.
Okay, so what do we want to do here? Let's go ahead and toss down the double colorless here. Let's Nest Ball. Let's see what's still in the deck. Still got all 4 of our Weezings. We pretty much have everything that we really need right now, so I'm kind of just going to burn these Nest Balls. We can drop down the Ditto, and let's Cynthia. Alright, there's a Weezing. That's good. Do want to be able to find more of those spell tags, though. Alright, so let's go ahead and Spattering Sludge. And start the process. And right now, we're kind of sitting pretty. Yep, because our opponent attaches energy for turn. So we don't even have to promote a Coughing next turn and try to dig for another Weezing. We can honestly just attack or bring up the Frost Rotom and take a knockout here. Okay. Let's see. So how much damage are we doing? We're doing... All right, so at least 80, 160. Plus 10. Yeah, we don't need to put it. So we're going to put these all on the Volcanion here. And we're just going to bring up the Frost Rotom here. We've got the counter energy in hand. We are good to go. All right, we did get a Weezing anyway. That's perfect. We're going to toss down a counter energy here. I don't really want to bench the Oranguru. Let's just Lily. Let's see if we can find a Rescue Stretcher. Perfect. Okay. So I think we just need to Rescue Stretcher everything back into the deck. And we're just going to take a massive knockout here with this Frost Crush. And just take 3 prize cards pretty casually. Seems good. There's a spell tag. That's perfect. So we got another one for our Weezing. Now the one thing that we do have to remain aware of here is that we are now ahead on prizes, so our counter energies don't necessarily do as much. And our counter catchers are kind of dead in our hand. Our opponent's just going to Kiawe here. Okay, so that's good. So it means we get to save the Frost Rotom. So we have multiple options available here. Definitely going to put the spell tag down here. So we can escape rope and we can just start hitting. Now, the downside is if they do bring up Miltank as the active, they can't actually start healing the Charizard, but that's fine, I guess. Now, if they bring up the Charizard, we can actually bring up the Marshadow, retreat into the Marshadow, and just smack them again with... Well, no, because... counter energy. Oops. Oh, well. Can't have it all. So let's go ahead and just escape rope. Let's see what they bring up. I'm assuming it's going to be this Miltank. Yeah, that early let loose really just put our opponent back. Like I said, against certain decks, Marshadow is super good. Other times you might want to have to wait until it's a little bit later in the game to really do anything. So I think what we do here is we put the counter energy. Well, let's see how many's in there. We got 1 down. All right, we've got 2 DCE down. Yeah, we need to put this counter energy on this Ditto. Can bench the Lele. I'm honestly okay with that as well. Let's just Lily for a couple more cards. Alright, so there's Cynthia, so we're going to be set for next turn. So let's go ahead and Spattering Sludge. And just start taking up on that damage. So if our opponent has Fire Energy here to heal off the Charizard, it's fine, I guess. Alright, okay, so our opponent has their own Escape Rope. Okay. So I think what we do here is we just promote the Marshadow and let them take a knockout. Okay, so our opponent just outrages here. That's fine. We're going to bring up the Weezing. Because we are tied on prizes again, so we can't necessarily use Frost Rotom. Okay, there's another spell tag. That's good. So let's go ahead and put that on the Ditto. I don't want to put down the Oranguru, so let's just go ahead and Cynthia. Right, there's a Mysterious Treasure. That's good. So we can go ahead and discard. See, we can actually get everything that we really need here. if we wanted to get really greedy. I want to be able to keep the shrine up, though. I don't think we're going to be needing Tapu Koko, so let's go ahead and pitch that. Let's go ahead and grab that other Weezing. Now, the other option that we have available, I do kind of want to keep this counter catcher, but it's not a necessity here. So what we can do is we can go ahead and, because I want to be prepared just in case, just to get some more energies out. Yeah, I think that's fine here. So we're going to go ahead and Ultra Ball these two away. Let's go grab that Oranguru. Put down the Oranguru, and let's instruct for some more cards. Okay. Still fine here. We can get rid of all of this on the next turn. So let's just go ahead and Spattering Sludge. And that was kind of the reason I wanted to find another energy, because again, we are ahead on prizes again. Alright, so our opponent's got a Fire Crystal. I actually kind of wish that our opponent would bump this shrine so we could go ahead and put down the second one. Opponent's got Escape Rope. Okay, so it looks like they're going to try to heal up with the Mill Tank for a turn. I don't think we're going to be able to get there with Tapu Lele per se. So we could just promote the Lele. I think I'm fine with that. This deck runs a lot of switches as well. Yep, so they are going to heal off the Charizard. So they're probably going to switch back into it and just knock us out. Alright, so our opponent's going to Dead-Eye change. So this is kind of one of those weird situations where we really actually don't want to promote the Weezing here. Alright, there is a counter gain that is good. So the counter gain, we're going to want to snap down to the Oranguru. It's going to give us another option. Let's see, because we've got... Yeah, so we still have access to another DCE, or at least we should. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and pitch off one of these Coughings here. Not going to take anything. We're going to try to Oranguru into something better. There's a DCE. So what I really want to do here, we're just going to go ahead and hold this. Let our opponent come up, take the knockout. We'll tie again on prizes. And one of the things that we can do is we can actually promote the Oranguru instead, attach the DCE there. Let's go ahead and toss this down now. Let's see, because if we get... Because we've got 2 counter energies on board. If we get another counter energy on the next turn, we can still actually attack. Let's just go ahead and pass. Because I don't think it's going to be possible to chase down this this Dedenne GX and take the knockout that way. This is one of the few times where you actually have to be a little tricky with this deck. You're not just trying to pop everything up there. Because the issue here is if we bring up the Weezing, the Mill Tank is going to die between turns, and it's going to put us back even further. Okay, so he brings up the Oranguru here. That's still fine. So in this situation here, I think what we're going to try to do... we can actually promote Mr. Mime, and I think that'll be fine. Because we don't care if Mime dies. Alright, there's another Coughing. Unfortunately, we don't have a way to really get anything else here, so we're really kind of having to ride the Frost Rotom train here. So if our opponent has Guzma, they probably just win the game. Unfortunately, that's kind of just the way it is. Now, the only other possible outcome is if we can top deck a counter energy and we can magical swap on the next turn. So I think we just pass here. Our opponent taking the knockout on that Oranguru was definitely unfortunate, though. Here comes Jirachi. Skateboard. Alright, so our opponent has the switch here, not a Guzma. So they've got to be looking for the Guzma here. They find it. Okay, so our opponent's knocking on the door here. Okay, so counter energy is back online. Now, let's see here. Because we bring up the Weezing. 1 damage counter to Jirachi. 1 damage counter to Miltank. The Miltank will get knocked out. Spattering Sludge does another 20 to the Jirachi on the bench, puts it at 30. Okay, actually, I think we just try to win with Weezing here. I think our opponent putting down the Jirachi actually sealed it for us. And I promoted the one right there. That's not good. Well, I goofed here. That might have just shot our chances. Because I promoted the wrong Weezing. Alright, so let's Erica see what we get. Unfortunately, I don't think that does it. Yep, I kind of just shot myself in the foot. Oh, well. Yep. And that was the key. If I had promoted the other Weezing, we probably could have won there. I just wasn't thinking straight. But that's why we do this testing. To learn from the mistakes so they don't happen when it matters. Okay, so I think this is Zap Beasts. going to have to mull this one away. Okay. Not the greatest of starts, but we can work with this. Coco. This might be the mirror match. It is the mirror match. So the downside here is going to be our opponent is going to be able to evolve first. So they're going to be able to start going off with Weezing's ability. Wow, looks like our opponent's just got a great start. Okay. Well, there's our own shrine, so we can go ahead and pitch that. Now, opponent's got an amazingly big hand. Let's Ultra Ball away the Guzma and the Shrine. Let's go ahead and go get our own Coughing. Put down the DCE there, and we're just gonna set the. Okay, this is pretty doable actually. So we can Nest Ball, go grab another Coughing. Nest Ball. I'm actually going to go ahead and grab the Mew here, just to prevent that extra bench damage. We're going to put a Spell Tag on this Coughing. And I'm actually going to Mysterious Treasure for a Marshadow and let loose. Okay, so we got a Weezing for next turn. We've also got a Ditto and a Cynthia. That's really good. So I think here we just go ahead and... Let's see here. I think we actually just hold the Ditto in hand here in case our opponent does have Coughing, because we don't, or does have Weezing, because we don't need to evolve into it on the next turn. So we'll just go ahead and we'll pass here. Now we are going to have to try to find like an escape rope or another way to move the actives around. Okay, so it looks like our opponent does have the Coughing. Well, they have their own Marshadow. So it looks like they don't have anything. So apparently our Marshadow is pretty good. So they're going to have to return Marshadow us to try to find something. Hopefully we get a pretty decent hand as well. I can live with that. Okay, so our opponent also managed to get the Cynthia. It's pretty good. Okay, here comes the Spattering Sludge. Okay. There's a counter energy. put that down here on this coughing. I think playing Erica's here is fine. We can also bench the Orangaroo too and just play Lily. Let's just play Erica's. Let's see what we get. There's another spell tag. Unfortunately, we still didn't hit the Weezing, so that is a little bit unfortunate. We're definitely going to toss a spell tag down here on this coughing. Let's escape rope and see what our opponent does. They're probably just going to bring up the other Weezing. Okay, that's fine. So we're just going to bring up the coughing here and just foul looter and pass. Unfortunately, not being able to get down our own detention gas is kind of annoying, but now our opponent has to waste a turn with either Goozling out of this or finding a way to bring something else up. And they don't have access to Counter Catcher. Alright, so they did manage to find the escape rope here. So we're just going to bring up the other coughing. I think is fine. I think what we're actually going to do here is we're just going to go ahead and put a damage counter on each of our opponent's bench. So if we do find the Weezing, we can go ahead and start making use of the detention gas. I'm actually just going to promote the coughing here. I really don't see any reason why we wouldn't hit a Weezing off of this Cynthia. Let's just go ahead and Cynthia here. Okay, there is a Weezing. That is good.
That looks hard. It's not bad. It's just like.
Kind of want to hold one of these in my hand. But let's go ahead and just set up Lele for next turn. Lily here. Alright, there's a Ditto. So we could try to be really tricky about this. Because our opponent doesn't have any other energy. So what we could do is we could actually attach, retreat, bring up the Lele, and damage swap, because that way it's not going to trigger the spell tag. I think I'm actually okay with that. So let's attach, retreat, bring up the Tapu Lele, and let's magical swap. Also knock out the Marshadow here. That Marshadow's gonna die later though. We could also put all the damage counters on this other Weezing as well. You know what? I honestly think where everything is fine. Now what we could do, let's move a couple of these damage counters over onto this Coco. We'll call it quits at that. Unfortunately, we are going to lose the Mew here, but that's okay. Oof. Our opponent did have the extra energy here. We are going to get punished for that. Oof. I was really banking that they didn't have it. Okay. So, yeah. It's not really going to matter here. Still got to learn a little bit about this. Just not getting set up at the beginning as well also really hurt. Alright, let's see what we get this time. Alright, we are able to go first. Oof, nothing. I mean, this is a hand. Let's see what our opponent's playing here. Hitmonchan. Okay. Really don't want to put down the Coco in this matchup here. Okay, so let's Mysterious Treasure. Let's go ahead and get rid of Coco. Let's go grab another Coughing. We are going to need to go ahead and grab that Mew eventually. Go ahead down the shrine. I don't think we Marshadow yet. Let's just Cynthia. Okay, we did get another coughing. That is really good. Don't really need to put down the Mr. Mime yet. Let's see, this is going to hit and run. I don't think... Okay, so with Diancie, that's another 20, so that's 50 damage. If he plays Kukui, that's another 50. It has to be an exact setup, though. I don't think our opponent's going to have it. Let's just go ahead and attach here to one of the bench coughings. We have another one for next turn if absolutely need be. I think just attaching to the active here just doesn't make any sense. Okay, so they do have their own stadium. Alright, so they do go ahead and go find the Diancie. Okay. Yep, Choice Band's not going to do anything for you in this matchup. That's the guts out. Innards out. This Pokemon is your active and is knocked out. Puts 6 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. It's pretty good. So it's a good thing to run into. Okay. So it hits us down to 50. Alright, so we do get a Weezing off the top. That is good. So the good thing here is if we, we're going to hit into this Mimikyu. Yep. Let's see. Huh, that is one of the cool things. We can actually go grab Frost Rotama if we want to. But do we want it here? Probably not in this matchup. Counter gain, I kind of want to save for Oranguru. If need be. Well, we're never probably going to put down the Oranguru either. So let's just put it on the coughing. Okay, good. We have other options here. I do want to get spell tags. Unfortunately, we just don't have access to them yet. Let's Nest Ball. Let's definitely go get that Mew now. Now, the other thing we could do is we could, instead of setting up another Weezing, is we could just Mysterious Treasure. Yeah, I actually really like that. Let's just Mysterious Treasure. Let's pitch a Lily. That's fine. And let's go grab Marshadow and let loose. Okay, there is a spell tag. That is good. And let's go ahead, Spattering Sludge. So the great thing here is this is going to die between turns. Yeah, so opponent definitely wants that Mew dead. Really messes with their strategy. So, we have access to a couple things here. Yeah, so we're just going to slap this down here. We're going to Guzma that up and just watch our opponent cry. Yeah, I don't think our opponent's going to be able to come back from this. They do get another Hitmonchan and a Hitmonlee. Alright. As much as I would like to knock out this Diancie, I think being able to knock out the Hitmonchan is more important here. Opponent's going heavy on the Hitmonlees as well. Do they have a switch and an energy? They have a switch. They have Field Blower. It's pretty good. Still not a knockout. There's a Let Loose. Let's see what this puts us into. Not bad. We can work with this. We can Erica's Hospitality for a bunch, or we can just Cynthia. I think Erica's right here is better. Alright, so our opponent's got the hit and run. Alright, so they're definitely bringing up the Hitmonlee next turn to try to do the combo. Yeah. I think we Erica's first. Yeah, let's Erica's first. Okay. Let's get some more of our Weezings. Now the question is, do we escape rope here? Let's see, because this 90 damage to one of your bench Pokemon. Yep. Looks like our opponent just scoops it up here. Realizes that we got it. Alright. So let's go ahead and get one more game in real quick, and then I'm going to take a quick break. We've been on for almost an hour. This looks like Quagsire and a Ganondorf. Alright, so we do get to go first. That is good. It's a pretty decent start. I'll take this. I think we can actually afford to get rid of the Mr. Mime in this matchup. I don't think our opponent's going to be running any Acerolas. But we'll see. We'll see what they flip over. Because as much as I also want to play the Shrine, I kind of want to keep it in my hand to counter whatever they play on the next turn. There's an Oranguru. Right, there's another Coughing, so that's really good. Don't quite know what this is yet. So now here's the question. What do we get rid of? I think we're going to have to do it like this. We're going to have to Ultra Ball the Mr. Mime and the Counter Catcher. Oh wow, there's only 3 Coughings. Okay, it's still alright. We also have the Ditto in the deck, so we're okay here. So I think what we get here is let's grab let's grab Ditto off the Ultra Ball, and then we can Mysterious Treasure go grab another Coughing. Bully free. Whee!
I don't have the spatial awareness for that.
Pretty good hand here. We can go ahead and toss down a counter energy to this Coughing. And I think from here we just pass. We do have double Weezing next turn. I don't think going and getting a Mysterious Treasure trying to Marshadow our opponent's going to do anything. Or at least anything good. So let's see what they have. They might come down with their own Marshadow. Here comes a DCE. Lily is for 3. Interesting. Alright, so we are playing against a Zoroark build. So just resource management, put the Lily back in. Right, there's a spell tag, that's pretty good too. So we can go ahead and put the spell tag on the active. I don't think we're going to need the Frost Rotom here in this matchup. So let's Mysterious Treasure away the Frost Rotom.
Show it to you and walk off.
Let's go grab Weezing. And let's play Cynthia. No DCE. That is a little tilting. So I think all we can do here is toss down the Shrine and say go. Really unfortunate. Yeah, thanks, Matt. I love the shirt too. Alright, so opponent pops the resetting hole Marshadow. Finally gets Zoroark online. Now the downside is we do have 2 shrines in the discard pile now. Treasure Mage. I will have the deck list. I can show it right after we play this match. It's pretty straightforward. Alright, so it looks like our opponent's finally able to start picking us from Steam. Yeah, no problem. Alright, so it looks like they are playing the Persian GX as well. That's fine. Just 1 spell tag. And our opponent's going to judge for us. That's pretty good. Didn't really have an optimal hand here. I can work with that. It's not the best, but hey, at least we can start attacking now. Alright, opponent has their own Mew. That's kind of annoying. But our opponent doesn't have a way to retreat yet. They can keep resource managing all they want to. Yeah, the field blower and getting the Marshadow back is a little annoying, though. There's a Coco. Let's see here. Well, if they are playing Zoroark, then they probably are playing Acerola then. So what we probably do here is we can play Coco, attach DCE. We don't have to rescue Stretcher for the mine yet, but it is an option. You know what? I'm actually just going to do it now. And our opponent just scoops it up. Interesting. Maybe they just had nothing. Alright. But you asked for the Weezing list, you shall receive. Let me actually get it to pull up better real quick. Alright, so this is the list. Treasure Mage. So we're playing one copy of Ditto Prism Star, one Oranguru, one Tapu Lele, and one Tapu Koko. For the rest of the one-ofs, one Bloodloose Marshadow, one Mew with the bench barrier. So obviously, if we're playing the mirror match, definitely helps that. Helps against Pikarom. It's a pretty decent card all around. Mr. Mime with the scoop up block is kind of the key MVP here. So again, in the matchup that we just played, really preventing our opponent from playing Acerola to pick up Pokemon, put them back in their hand, to move stuff around. Also keeps damage counters on the field, so I like it a lot. And the spicy tech in here is the Frost Rotom. Now, again, Frost Rotom, most of the time you're playing it in the Rotom meme deck, but we don't really care about Rotom Motor here. But Frost Crush, we're almost always going to be behind on prizes, so we're just going to be playing it with counter energy. And this attack does 20 more damage times the amount of energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon. So it's a great Charizard, just a great fire counter in general. And again, if our opponent just gets really greedy and overloads on energy, we can just punish them with Frost Crush. But other than that, we're playing a 4-4 line of Coughing and Weezing. And of course, Detention Gas is the main focus of why we're playing the deck here. So as long as your opponent, or as this Pokemon is your active, put one damage counter on each of your opponent's basic Pokemon between turns. Again, with Splattering Sludge, you're attacking for 40, you're doing 20 to all of your opponent's bench. So basically, you're hitting them for 40, or 40 to the active, spreading 30 to all of their bench Pokemon, basically between turns, once you set up that initial Detention Gas, and you're just able to go off from there. Of course, if they're playing GX Pokemon as well, they're going to be able to drop down one of your 4 Shrine of Punishments and just keep racking up the damage like that even more. So, of course, spread's the name of the game here. Like I said, we are going to be behind on prizes a lot. We're more looking to take almost all of our prizes around at the same time. So if our opponent's chaining knockouts, that's fine. We're going to have access to 2 counter catchers, 2 escape ropes, 4 mysterious treasure, and 4 nest ball to search out our Weezings and our Coughings, maybe even occasionally a Marshadow or a Mew. 2 rescue stretcher to be able to shuffle everything back in, or just grab another Weezing off the top is super helpful. 2 Ultra Balls, don't really need 4 copies of it, but just being able to grab up something else that we might need. 4 Shrines, kind of a must in this deck. As far as draw support goes, we got 4 Cynthias, 1 Erica, and 4 Lily. That's really about all we need in this matchup. We do have 1 copy of Oranguru to help us draw a couple extra cards if we do need it. We're running 1 copy of Counter Gain and 4 copies of Spell Tag. Spell Tag is just one of those other items that we're going to have that's going to help us put those extra damage counters on the board that is going to help us win the game. And again, with energy goes, we're going to be running 4 counter energy and 4 DC. Now, one of the things that I had thought about putting in this deck is 1 copy of Larvitar, just for, again, matchups like that can be really good. But for the most part, I feel like that anything that's weak to fighting right now, I think Weezing is just better. Just spreading more of the damage counters around and just instead of taking a turn off to focus on one singular threat. I don't think there's any tag teams that are out right now that are weak to fighting that's worth focusing on. Besides, like, Eevee Snorlax maybe, but Eevee Snorlax, it's going to be a one-of in most decks that are going to be playing it, and there's not a ton of decks that are actually running Eevee Snorlax anyway. So I think Larvitar being out of the list is fine. I think only being down to 1 Koko is fine. Again, 1 Tapu Lele is fine. I would like to go up to a 2nd counter gain here, even though most of the time when we are playing it, we're just attaching it to Oranguru in the first place. It has come in really clutch in a couple of games where we can just drop the counter gain, toss a DCE on our Oranguru, and punish our opponent if they've been really greedy with putting down a bunch of energy on one of their Pokemon. So it's an option. But that's the list. And like I said, it's pretty solid. We've lost a couple of close games. One of them was to my own negligence. I just didn't pay attention, didn't think about promoting the right Weezing, and we ended up losing because of it. But for the most part, the deck's really good. It deals with just about everything pretty fairly. Alright, so Fairy Psychic Lightning. I wonder what this could be. Probably the mirror match. Alright. So we start Coco here, which isn't the worst thing in the world. It definitely could be a lot worse. Not having a good supporter, though, is kind of bupkis. Now, one of the things that we can do is we can kind of punish our opponent depending on where they put their energy for the turn. And they actually don't drop the energy. Interesting. Let's see what our options are here. Unfortunately, we don't have a way to let loose. Our opponent probably has Weezing in their hand. I'm just going to go grab a coughing of my own. Drop a spell tag down. Put this down. And start flying flipping. Just start the spread. Okay, so our opponent does have the Weezing here. So that is annoying, but it's not something we can't deal with. We do need to draw a supporter, though. Opponent's got a spell tag of their own. There's a counter gain. Okay, so I think what we do here, I'm gonna go ahead and evolve into my own Weezing. Let's retreat into the Weezing. Guzma up this one. Hold on to the counter gain for now. And just try to hope our opponent can't really respond. Alright, opponent drops their own shrine. That's a little bit annoying, but it's okay. Alright, they've got Tate and Liza. Not looking good. Well, we can rescue Stretcher for the Coco back. Let's see, they attack into us for 80. So it puts us at 110. Yeah, let's pass here. Because even if we go get the Stretcher and grab Coco here, we just got done dirty by a bad hand. Yep. I don't think we're going to be able to come back from this. I'm just going to go ahead and concede here. Feels bad, but what can you do? You can't do anything about just getting an awful hand that you can't really do anything with. Now, if that nest ball had been a mysterious treasure, things would have been completely different. So it looks like we're going second here. Oof. Just another really poopy hand. I don't know what we're playing against here. I'm just gonna bring up the meal and drop the coughing. Opponent drops their own shrine. Probably Zapdos. Yep, here comes the Zapdos. Two really unlucky starts back to back. That's not very nice. Well, at least we got double spell tag. It's really about all I can do at this point. I'm just going to hold on to the counter energy and say go. Opponent's definitely going to Guzma us here. They do find the escape board, but if they don't Guzma here, I will be thoroughly surprised. Wow. They don't Guzma. Interesting. Let's see. So we're going to do 40 to this off of our sludge, and then we're going to do so essentially 50. Okay, so they'll put 60. Yeah. And this is put all the damage counters there. Okay, and we get a Lily. That's good. We need to start drawing into more cards. I don't want the Mew right now, but we just need something on the bench just for a little bit of security. And let's Lily. Okay, I can work with this. Okay, so we can also counter catcher up the Jirachi. I don't like that. Yeah. We're in Nest Ball. Okay. Actually, I like grabbing a Rangaroo here. We're going to let loose our opponent. Alright. Okay. So I think we're set up for next turn pretty well. We're just going to go ahead and start the sludging. So the good news is here is even if our opponent does get the knockout, we'll be fine. What's up, Tan? Just testing out the Weezing.
How'd the mirror go?
Are you talking about the last match?
Yeah, I saw you start up, and then I came down here to talk to Brandon.
Oh, it was pretty bad. I didn't draw a single supporter.
Want a nut?
Look at Tant being all nice. Sharing his treats.
So you thinking about this for ICs at all?
I really like this list. So, the good news here is we can promote the Weezing and the Zapdos will die between turns. So opponent has to bring up the Jirachi. Okay, and we get a coughing out of our prizes, so that's pretty good. So we're going to coughing.
I think you can mysterious treasure away the shrine.
Yeah. But I kind of wanted to keep the treasure to grab a Weezing. I think I'm actually just gonna attach to the coughing and Cynthia.
Well, if you mysterious treasure away the shrine, you can go ahead and get that out of your deck, and you can instruct for one before you sink in.
But I can't evolve into the coughing this turn.
Yeah, but you can go ahead and grab like another coughing.
I guess. Yeah. All right, that's fine.
Well, yeah, see, that's the best chance for you to get a shrine out of your deck, so you don't dead draw into it.
Yep, I guess that's true. And then yeah, we'll instruct for one. See if we get anything good. Nope, just another DCE. And we'll Cynthia. I really wish that I could bring up this Jirachi. Unfortunately, I can't. Just gonna splattering. It does stink that our opponent has resistance, but it's fine. This Jirachi's dead next turn. That is going to be one of the cool things, though, is we have options. Okay, there's a Zapdos. So what we can actually do is we can actually escape rope next turn, Guzma up the other Jirachi on the bench, knock out both of their Jirachis, and our opponent's stuck with just a Zapdos that's stuck in the active. If they don't bench anything else. What's up, Marcus?
How you doing?
Good. We testing some Weezing.
Nice. Playing modern.
Hmm?
I'm playing modern.
Ooh. Well, have fun, man. Yeah, if our opponent doesn't bench anything here, I think we're fine. I think promoting the Marshadow here is fine. Let them take a knockout on that. Now, if they just pass here, still fine. Alright, got the Electro Power. Cynthia, okay. Okay, so they did manage to find the energy. So, in order for this to work, I still need to promote the Weezing this turn, which means we still have to use the Guzma and the Escape Rope, but that's still fine. So, we'll promote the Weezing here. Alright, so Detention Gas goes off. Okay. There's a counter energy, that's also really helpful. Now,
You could have gotten away with it without promoting the Weezing.
I guess you're right, but I don't really foresee needing both the Escape Rope and the Guzma here. So let's go ahead and counter energy to the coughing. I also have the option of putting the Marshadow back in my hand for the next turn. I just want to see what's left in the deck. We've already got 2 coughings down. I think grabbing Ditto here doesn't really matter. So, the peanut stuck in my throat. Yeah, thanks, Tant.
Got you, homie.
So what we do here is we Escape Rope first. Our opponent brings up whatever, it doesn't matter. We bring up Rangaroo.
I just realized, what was the point of escape roping? And Guzman.
Because we didn't have free retreat with anything else.
Well, yeah, but if you just attacked with the Zapdos and the active, it's going to knock out both the Jirachis anyway. They only have 70 HP and it hits the bench for 20 apiece.
Let's see.
They'll both die if they're on the bench.
You are correct. And this is why we have Tant here to help remind me that I'm stupid.
Just 20 free damage. It's okay, you were playing your hand down for Instruct next turn.
Mm-hmm. Technically, I could let loose him here. That actually wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
It's actually a really good idea.
See, this is why we do this. Learn. We learn in things. Okay, and we get a spell tag. That's pretty good. Lily for next turn, too. Yeah, we'll go ahead and
Put on
toss...
the DCE one, not the counter energy one.
Yep. And bye-bye, Jirachi. No, we got our opponent kind of stranded there. And I was checking Pokestats on my way up here, and it looks like that Zapdos was a pretty popular pick this weekend for some of the international competitions going on. I know there was a regional going on this weekend, and I want to say that there was Brazil their regional was also going on this weekend as well, and it seems like Zapdos was still a popular pick. So it's always good news to me when I can see that if it can take down Zapdos pretty easily, that's a good sign. Okay. Let's see if our opponent finds the escape board.
I'm not gonna lie, Mew seems like one of the worst options for that Guzma. That also seems like a really bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Aw, poor dude. I personally would have gone for the coughing that doesn't have the spell tag. But
Let's see. I'm actually going to counter catcher up the Jirachi here.
could you still knock the Zapdos off on the bench?
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I think benching the Coco here is fine. Don't really need to put down an energy this turn, but I do want to make sure that that's good to go for later. And while our opponent can find something with the Jirachi, it just made more sense to smack into it and deal more damage.
Either way, you were losing 20 damage that turn.
Mm. Buzzmosa, interesting. And opponent's got the Lily here. Well, they're off of B-String.
Too bad they're going to make you play an 8 prize card game.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe not.
Let's see what they get here.
I mean, I guess the Buzzmosa explains the rainbow energies.
Mm-hmm. There's a Prism Star. think they have. Yep, they have 2 lightning in there. So they get 1 lightning to this. Because I want to say Elegant Soul. Yep, so Double Grass, Colorless. And then Beast Game costs 1 grass. Okay, so they did find a Cynthia.
How many rainbow energies are with the discard?
Rainbows. 3.
I'm gonna have a hard time getting you with that then.
Yep. Definitely tossing the counter game down here on the Oranguru. And then I think instead of attaching to the Coco, we actually just attach to the Oranguru.
Yeah, and Cynthia after you clear those cards out.
Okay, so we do have a Guzma in case he does bring anything else up. So that is good. Oh, I forgot. We can't attack anymore.
It's got counter energy on it?
Yep. Well, it's still going to be fine. We just missed out on 20 damage. So, just press done.
Problem being is that once he knocks that Weezing out, you only get 1 more knockout.
Estimate on how much the deck should cost in paper? Not much at all. Most everything in here is either about to rotate or is super cheap.
Less than 50. Most of your money is going to be dropped on the Guzmas and the Cynthias.
Alright.
And the Marshadows are like $2 a piece. That's about it.
So, I think we just bring up the other Weezing here. It just makes the most sense to me.
Yeah.
Because we can't bring up the Marshadow. Plays the second Escape Rogue. Okay. Just gonna keep doing that. Opponent's just trying to pare their hand down.
You cast Finalia Promise with
So they do have the Beast Energy. Ah, that's why they picked off the Mew.
So the Jet Punch would work?
Yep. So they can go for Beast Game. Unfortunately, we can't Guzma. Pretty sure all. We've got 1 escape rope left in the deck. I don't want to choice it off of that. Because I can attach a DCE here and retreat into the other Weezing. And then Cynthia.
I think you attach a DC to the active and just attack with the active. I mean, still play the Cynthia, but attack with the active.
Why would I attack with the
Because
active?
if he knocks it out, then he's gonna knock it out next turn. You get 4 free damage off of the spell attack. That'll put him at 160.
Well, hold on. He's doing 30 more damage because of the Beast Energy. Okay, and then Beast Game does 50, so that's 80.
Oh, is he taking extra price card off of that?
Yes, he does. That's why I don't want to do that. So I'm just gonna retreat into the other Weezing here. I really wish I could pare some of these cards down because I would want that other DCE for the Oranguru, but I'm going to Cynthia anyway. Okay. Still have the Guzma, but that's fine.
How many Guzmas does he have left? Never mind, this game.
Yep, he's got it anyway. That was a close one. Oh, that was so close. Alrighty. Well, I don't think there was much different we could have done for that game. Alright, for real though this time, I'm going to give this one more shot, and then I got to go take a break, because we've been on for almost an hour and a half, and I got to use the bathroom. Well, let's get in one more game and see what happens, and then we can come back to it later. Oh, sorry about that, Treasure Mage. Give me 1 sec. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so here's the list in its entirety. The cards all down at the bottom. There's 4 spell tag, 4 counter energy, and 4 DCE. So you're acting about paper price here, so let's look at this realistically. Okay, so Ditto Prism Star, about $2 to $3. Then you got a Rangaroo, which is definitely around the $2 range. So let's say $5 right now. Cocos are about $1 a piece, so that's $6. Lele's, not even $1, 50 cents. Mr. Mime, 50 cents to $1. So we're not looking at a whole lot right now. So let's just say $7. Frost Rotom, it's not worth anything. Pennies. Same thing with the Coughings. The Weezings are actually surprisingly cheap as well. The Weezing itself, I want to say the last time I looked it up on TCG Player was like 89 cents. So roughly $4 for all of them. So that's going to put you at about, say, $11-12 right there. Let Loose Marshadow, still worth a couple bucks. I'd say $2 to $3. Even if it is about to rotate, it's still a good card. So let's say we're at $14-15 right now. The Mew is worth a couple bucks. When it first came out, it was around $6 to $5. Now it's worth about $2.50. So looking at about $18 right now. All of your trainers, super cheap. You can find them in any bin in a store that you walk into. They're going to be in the 50 cent to 25 cent bin. Cynthia's are super cheap now, so about $2 a piece on those. So you'd say $8 there. The Guzmas are probably about $2 a piece as well. Erica's a couple bucks, maybe only $1. So for all of those, probably about $10-12. So add all that up together, you're getting close to $24-25. The shrines, I don't know off the top of my head how much they are. The last time I checked, they were not that expensive. They were in the $3 to $4 range. So if you don't have the shrines, that's probably going to be the most expensive thing in the deck that you're going to pick up. Again, lilies are super cheap, spell tags are cheap, and everybody's got counter energies and DCs, and everybody's got Ultra Balls. So putting this deck together under $30 is not hard to accomplish. I mean, and if you bargain bin it, you know, you're looking for the cheapest deals, you can probably get it for under $20. My guess is most everybody already has most of these cards, except for the newer stuff from the new set, so the Coughings and the Weezings themselves and the Mew. Otherwise, you should already have most of these cards already. If you don't, just a couple quick pickups. Like I said, there's the one of Erica's. There's the one of Mew. There's, 4 Coughings. Otherwise, all these cards have been out for a while, so they shouldn't be that hard to pick up. I do like budget decks a lot. The first, budget deck that I really started to play that I had a lot of success with was Buzz Shrine. And I know I say it was a budget deck, even though it was running Shrine of Punishment, and Shrine was super hot when it first came out. Yeah, no problem, Treasure Mage. But besides the Shrine of Punishments, which were about $10 a piece at the time, the rest of the deck was super cheap. So a lot of the times, some of the best decks that sneak under the radar are these really, kind of budget decks that can really deal with just about anything. I mean, one of the cool things about decks like this is you can really customize it to your meta. So let's say that in your local meta, there is no fire. Nobody's playing Charizard. Cool. Take out the Frost Rotom, put in a Larvitar, with the Retaliate, so you can deal with Zoroarks in your area, or just something else that fits your meta better. If you're really worried about getting free retreat, put in a second Tapu Koko. Again, you saw in our games, we almost never used it, but it also is still great to have free retreat when you need it. Again, for the most part with this deck, you're almost always going to want to promote the Weezing, but having turn 1 free retreat is really good. Again, the Ditto in here is just kind of like a personal choice, just because, again, if you have multiple Coughings prized and you need to be able to slam down Weezings, that Ditto is just another way that you can get it done. So I personally like that. I think only one Marshadow is really needed in the list, because getting them once with a good let loose, as you saw in that one game, can really turn the tide in our favor, but 2 is a little excessive. Plus, it can really start to clog up our board. And again, you saw we were able to promote 1. It got knocked out. We rescue stretched it back to our hand and played it again. It was really good. I think the 1 of is just fine. Again, we're playing 4 Shrine of Punishments too, so we don't need the resetting whole Marshadow, the new one that just came out. Yeah, it does do more damage to Ultra Beasts, but we have Weezing. We're spreading so much damage around, it really doesn't matter. I know a lot of people might think about cutting the Mr. Mime. I would highly recommend against it, just because it's always better to play it safe and drop the mine than getting surprised out of nowhere with an Acerola and just feeling really bad. Now, of course, if your opponent max potions, there's not much you can do about that. It's gonna happen. But again, for this list, it's super cheap. It's super fun to play. Like, even in the games that we've lost, they've been close for the most part. There was the one where we didn't draw any supporters, but there's not much you can do about that. That's just bad luck. But if most of your games are consistently close, you're on a budget, you don't want to drop a ton of money on new cards, and you want something that's fairly competitive, this is a great deck. The mirror match is a little tricky. You do have to be very careful about where you're placing your damage counters and trying to play around your opponent's their own spell tags. So be wary about how to make those things trigger. Now I will say, if you're playing in a meta where a lot of people are playing Weezing, I would definitely go up on the Guzma count. I would go up to 4 Guzma in a heartbeat. Let me tell you why. Because in those kind of situations, it really depends on how the game goes down, and if your opponent made you go ahead on prizes early so you don't have access to your counter energies, you're going to need to be able to attack with your Weezings that have the double colorless energy. And if those ones are stuck on your bench and your opponent's kind of trying to strand you there in the active so you can't do anything, it feels really bad. So being able to also Guzma around certain plays where you're swinging into their spell tag and it's going to be able to pop their spell tag, being able to play around that is super key. But otherwise, for the most part, this deck's pretty straightforward. Slam down Coughings and Weezings, attach energies to them, and just go to town. Just start spreading damage around. For the most part, I would try not to play the Tapu Lele very early at all if you can help it. Your opponent's going to know it's coming, but again, it's just another target for them to pick off early, and it does clog up bench space if you do need to have a little bit of bench space for more optimization and more lines of play that you can take against your opponent. So Just be careful about dropping your Tapu Leles. Also be careful about Orangaroos in certain matchups. Because like you saw with our last matchup, we never needed it. There are certain matchups you're never going to need Orangaroo. You're just that far ahead. It does not matter. But, again, it's in there because it's good when it needs to be. So that's pretty much the list that I'm really happy with right now. I might make 1 or 2 tweaks to it. We are going to have some more IRL testing with it between me and my teammates just to see how good it is. It's definitely a contender for what I might be playing at the IC coming up. So we're also going to see on how everything shakes out with tournaments that are finishing up today. Those deck lists should be posted up on, what do you call it? I'm brain farting so hard right now. Not Cardacuno, what is it? It's gonna drive me nuts until I look it up. Hold on one second. What is this website called? Limitless. There we go. Limitless TCG. So, if you haven't heard of it, Limitless TCG is a great website because what they do is they compile all of the data from all of the big tournaments going on around the world, and they will post all of the deck lists, and they will post the standings for those tournaments. So you can see, okay, what made top 8 at this regional. It gives you all of the 8 lists, and you can look through each and every one of them, see how they placed. You can also look at their match records, I believe. They made that a new feature on there where you can do that. Poke Goldfish, no, I'm not a huge fan of Poke Goldfish, and here's the reason why. You can post anything to Poke Goldfish and go, here's a list, but it doesn't necessarily show you if that list had any good results. Versus if you look at, gosh, I'm brain farting so hard today. Crap. Do. Limitless, there we go. So, versus if you go to Limitless and you can see a specific deck and you can see, wow, it got a placing in a big tournament and it shows what it beat. That's really cool. So you have actual evidence right there of why the deck is good. Versus, Joe Schmo going on to Poke Goldfish, posting a list and going, here's what I brewed up with, my friends at my local league. What might be good at their local league is absolute garbage. Just depending. Or it could be an awesome deck. For the most part, though, I prefer, if I'm going to net deck, I like going to Limitless just to see what has been placing well, so I can take it, look at the list, and then I can make my adjustments if I need to based off of my own local meta, or if I just keep the deck the same way that it is, that it was, intended to be played. I've done that multiple times, The first 2 ARGs that I won here at G&G, both of those lists, one came from a regionals winning list, and when I was playing Gardevoir and Solgaleo and Swampert, that was a cup winning list that was posted by Robin Schultz, the last year's world champion, Robin Schultz. So there's a major difference when you can find deck lists that are posted between champions and people who excel at the highest level versus, Joey down at your card shop who does really well and places top 8s at cups. Not to say that their choices aren't any good, but I'm always going to feel more confident with a list by an established player than a list that's posted by, just some random person. Unless, obviously, the lines are obvious and somebody's come up with the most insane deck ever. But that's how I kind of view, at least, net decking. But yeah, this is my list. And if you can find a better list than this, dude, go ahead and let us know. I'm always looking for advice on what I should be playing and just different builds of certain things. I I'm happy with this build, even if we did have a little bit of struggle. But again, I just kind of chalk that up to variance and just kind of learning the deck for the most part. I'm by no means an expert at this, and we definitely still have about a month left until Nationals comes up to really get to know the deck, kind of learn it inside and out, and know all the matchups of what I should and shouldn't do in certain situations. But for right now, I'm pretty happy with it. I think the only other deck that really kind of holds a candle to this is maybe Reshiram Charizard that I'm really seriously debating on playing, just because, again, it's Reshiram Charizard. It's so good. It's format defining. You know, Dugong, Persian, and Zoroark is a deck because of Reshiram Charizard. That's all I can say. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take a break. We've been streaming for almost 2 hours here. I really gotta use the bathroom, so I will be right back. Just don't do anything strange while I'm gone, okay?
Like that night that I lost against Stephanie, it wasn't just that I got unlucky and I won. Alright, we are back. In black. Okay, so now that we've gone over the list a little bit more,
I'm gonna see if there's any events going on. Well, it looks like they got one standard tournament that could use some more people. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. See if anybody else wants to join. I didn't even check the rewards. 6 packs, 400 coins. That's pretty good. Hopefully we can just get 4 more people. Well, since we're waiting, this might be a... Well, there's 5. Might be a good time to go ahead and show off what I've been doing with Charizard as of late. So this is the Charizard list that I have going right now, and... Whoop, looks like we're jumping straight into it. Candy Snake, alright. Alright, Psychic Lightning, that tells me that we are playing the mirror match. Okay. So since we're going to be going first, I don't mind promoting the coughing here. Let's see what we can do. Having a Rangaroo in hand definitely does help, since we don't have anything. Ooh. Okay. Flaffy. Alright, so maybe our opponent's playing Ampharos GX? That would be interesting. Right. Definitely going to draw those 2 cards. Double Shrine. Did get a Cynthia. Oof. Alright. So we have options here. I think we can go ahead and toss down a Shrine. That's fine. Don't really want to reveal Frost Rotom. But we can't just get it back. Let's just go ahead and Mysterious Treasure. Let's go get another Coughing. Let's see what we have in the deck. Alright, so we have all 4 Weezings, the Mew, Marshadow. Both of our Cocos are prized, but I think that's fine. Let's go ahead and go grab another Coughing. I'm not sure how great the Rangaroo is going to be, but I'm going to go ahead and bench it anyway. I don't really want to Ultra Ball here. Let's kind of save it since we only have 2 in the deck. Let's just Cynthia and see what else we get. See if we can get set up. Not the best start in the world, but we can work with this. Double Shrine kind of hurts. Let's go grab another Coughing. Not sure if we need to bench the Mew, but we might need to for the next turn just so we can Rangaroo. Let's just attach a... this is interesting. We can attach a counter energy here so we can foul order if we need to and just pass. I don't think our opponent... Ooh, they can paralyze us, though. Probably should have read that first. Choose a supporter card. Oop, yep, we got nothing. We got nothing, opponent. Alright, Crushing Hammer. Oh, that hurts. Okay, so we do get paralyzed. That's a little unfortunate. I'm going to toss the Spell Dag down here. I'm going to Mew. Let's put a counter energy here, and let's just Instruct. Let's see what we get. There's a DC, so we have options. Let's just pass. This is definitely an odd one. Thundershock again. Still paralyzed. Alright, well there's a Weezing, so we can start attacking. It's pretty good to, top deck. Let's Instruct. Let's see what we get here. There's a Nest Ball. Go grab that last Coughing. And let's start attacking. So now our opponent's in a whole lot of trouble. Ooh, they have the Coco. Okay. Potion. Okay. So, I think we still... here's the question. Do we take the knockout or not just to draw another card? I think we do in this situation. As much as I would like to put it on the Coco, getting that knockout could get us the other card that we need to get set back up again. Let's just promote the coughing here. We can foul odor and confuse our opponent. Right, there's a mime. There's a rescue stretcher. Alright, so we have access to Weezing. Alright, so let's put down the mime. Let's rescue stretcher. Let's put the Weezing back in our hand. I don't think we put the Weezing up front. We're just going to put it on the bench here. Let's instruct. Let's see if we can get something else. There's a Guzma. Okay, so what we can do here is we can Guzma up the Mareep. What's its retreat cost? 1. I'm still okay with that. And we just pass. They have lightning here. Feels bad, but it's probably about the best thing we could do right now. So they have Kukui. Yep. Okay, so we're going to promote the coughing again. Alright, there's a Lily. We will take that. Okay, Mysterious Treasure. So we can go ahead and get another coughing. We can also escape rope if we want to, but I'm not sure what that gets us. Let's nest ball. Don't really want anything here. We're just going to fail the nest ball. Let's Mysterious Treasure. We can pitch one of those shrines. Go grab a Weezing. Actually, we probably could have gotten the Ditto there, but this is still okay. Put down the Lele. Let's instruct for 1. Right, there's the Ditto anyway. Never punished. Your opponent's gonna go get the Raikou. There's a Blitzel. So they were smart and they were holding those on in their hand. Alright, good. And our opponent's going to play Judge here. That's perfect. Alright, so we do have Weezing and a Cynthia for next turn. Alright, so our opponent evolves on Flaffy. Energy Retrieval. There's a Sky High Claws for the knockout. Alright, so we're going to promote the coughing here.
All the donuts still.
Okay. Evolve into Weezing. And we're going to play Cynthia. Alright, there's a spell tag. That's perfect. And we even have the energy to attack here. We can bench the Ditto and Mysterious Treasure on our next turn. So now we're sitting pretty. Fisherman. Interesting. I'm going to grab all 3 of those. Rescue Stretcher. Question is, what do they bring back here? So they bring back Coco. Right. Fails on the Crushing Hammer. Interesting choice from our opponent. Right, there's another spell tag. So let's go ahead. Let's get rid of the Nest Ball here. Let's go grab another Weezing. Spell tag. I think I'm actually just going to Lily here. Okay. So now we have more options for next turn. I'm going to keep the counter gain in my hand. Let's just go ahead and Detention Gas. Or Spattering Splurge. Okay. Alright, we do get a DC off the top that's really good. Okay, so our opponent's going to play the energy, drop the Coco, bring up the Coco. So we should be good to go from here. If we can find another counter energy, we'll be golden. Now let's see. Can we actually just take the knockout here? I don't think we can. Let's see. Because we can go damage. Because we're going to promote the Weezing. That's going to take a damage between turns. And we can put one there. Yeah, I think we actually just have game here. So we're going to put it there, 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 there. I'm going to promote the Weezing. The Blitzel's going to die between turns. Take the prize. There's Coco. Okay. And we're just gonna take the game. It's a quick victory. And that's one of the beautiful things about this deck is you can just play from far behind and still be perfectly fine. So, still got a little bit of time before the next game. Let's see. Hopefully not. Yeah, hopefully it's not a bunch of stall. Alright. Yep, well, we kind of just gotta wait for the next game, I guess. So, if anybody's got any questions, now's the time to fire them off. So we're guaranteed at least 2 packs and 100 tokens. It's pretty good. mess around with my avatar a little bit. I got time. I haven't changed this thing in such a long time. Oh, that's right. We got hats now. Got that pokey hat. I like the black hat. It's like my black hat that I always wear. I'm fine with that. We could go full Pika outfit. Do we even have a full Pika outfit? Ooh. Shirt's kind of cool. Let's get the hat to go with it. Yeah, I like that. No cool shoes though. No cool pants. Good enough for me. I have not been doing these challenges at all. Does anybody even do these challenges online? Like, what do they even get you? Okay, so our opponent for next round is going to be Darth Rhaegar. Hopefully this match isn't taking too long. Let's see. Still waiting. That is the only bad thing about doing the reports, is just you have to wait on the other people to finish their matches. I've just been doing so much ladder, I figured a tournament would be fun. Well, since we're still waiting, I'm gonna grab a snack. Geez, whenever that game is taking forever, I really hope that's not a stall gap. Jeez, this game is taking forever. Alright. Let's see if there's any good public trades. Wow, Jirachis are going for so much right now. Oh, it's all the same one. Nope. 2 shrines for a pack? Nah, it seems like a bad deal to me. Detective Pikachu packs. Heck no. Man, these people are crazy with some of these trades. People are only asking 6 packs for Charizards? You're nuts. There is no way a Jirachi should be more than a Reshiram Charizard right now. Yo.
Here goes the grind.
Decided to do a quick little tournament. Oh gosh, this is all the same person. They're all ending in like a minute. So, I'm just kind of trying to kill time right now. Faced a really weird, like, I guess it was like Ampharos, like Tapu Koko.
Was the Electro Power deck?
No. Like I don't know. The guy didn't play a whole lot. He took care of the game pretty easy. I just kept returning knockouts. Like all he ever attacked with was the Tapu Koko. Oh, he also played the Raikou.
Oh, the Oblivion Wing one?
It's the one that like did damage off the Lost Zone.
Oh, Lost Thunder one.
Yeah. I'm guessing it was just like somebody who had cards and threw together a deck. But this game has been taking forever.
Which Ampharos was it?
I don't know. It never came down. But he was playing Flaffies and Mareeps. I managed to kill the Mareeps before he could do anything.
It honestly might have been the Electro Power deck though.
It's taking forever. This is the punishment that I get for wanting to do a tournament instead of just ladder. I just get tired of ladder.
At least in the tournament, the further you get into it, the more it filters towards like actual decks instead of just random junk.
It's like you get tired of playing against like clowns over and over and over again. Though apparently clowns is actually doing pretty well this weekend. I saw that like there was a list that was like 7-1-1.
I gotta go look at Limitless later.
Well, that wasn't on Limitless yet. It was on PokeStats. And that was posted yesterday, so I have no idea how day 2's going. But we'll know by Monday.
And Limitless will have it updated by Monday.
I'm just looking to see what... I saw Alex Szymanski was 7-1-1 with the Charizard list. So I'm interested to see what his build is. Because he's not a bad player at all. Though I was surprised, I didn't see a lot of Charizard. Didn't see a lot of Pikarom either, but there were a couple of placings that were in top 64 that didn't have deck list either, so... Yeah, this has got to be stall or something in this matchup.
What's stall dice in standard?
Regigigas Hoopa. Vileplume variants. There's also that weird one that runs Vileplume, Buzzwole, Pheromosa.
Lab is actually just a really slow Weezing player.
Maybe. I mean, literally coming down to time? Like, come on. Who's the winner?
Lab is actually just one of them was being really spiteful because they had lost.
Well, I mean, they have to do actions between turns. Or not between turns, like, so... I mean, can you run out time, like, doing that? Because, like...
Oh, yeah.
Because, like... I remember I played a game where I was playing really slow, and, like, it was giving me, like, no chance. It was like, no, 15-second marker, 15-second marker, like, no matter what I did.
It resets every turn. Here we go.
Alright. So hopefully we actually have something to do. Yes, 10 seconds. You can start now, please. There we go. What are you playing against?
Nice shirt.
Thank you. I figured the avatar was in need of an update.
I think last time I updated mine was when the Pikachu box came out a couple years
So,
ago.
fire electric. What's fire electric?
Good question, actually. Oh, it's just Charizard with the Dedenne in it.
Ah. Or it could be clowns playing Dedenne.
Yeah, we gotta start looking for electric instead of psychic as the generic.
Oh yeah, taking a mulligan, it's definitely got to be clowns. Yeah, we're promoting the coughing here.
Yeah, we gotta get used to that next season of seeing electric and the thing as the support Pokemon instead of psychic.
Yep.
It's kind of like back in XY where everyone had colorless in there because of Shane.
Playing Salazzle too.
What is this monstrosity? So this is clowns?
Well, I saw Salazzle. 3 mulligans? Yeah, it's got to be clowns. Done. Ooh. Do I even bench the Coco here? Don't think I do.
How many energies does it take for Road to start working?
It's just a counter energy. Oh, I'm keeping it. I just don't think I'll need a Coco here. Because I think I'm just going to Cynthia.
In that case, I might want to go ahead and pitch the Lily.
Oh, let's see, because I put down... Oh, wow, we only have 2 coughings. That's not good. That's not good at all.
You got Ditto though, so it's okay.
Okay. Yeah, definitely grab the coughing. I think benching the Frost Rotom here is fine. Do I even put the counter energy on it? Screw it. I think I actually will Lily. Yeah, we're fine.
I'm still upset that the animation for Confused doesn't have Psyducks. Is he playing Unknown Hand? He
No,
actually
it-
might be playing Unknown Hand.
No, because it said Fire Lightning. It would have showed up
Yeah, that's right,
Psychic.
it was on Psychic. Yeah, it's a missed opportunity on his end.
I mean, as much as I want to get another Weezing out, I think I might actually just Mysterious Treasure, get a Marshadow. Alright, so this is a Reshizard list. Just a really odd start. Alright, gonna grab Welder for next turn. Actually, has he played Supporter yet? No, he hasn't. Alright, so we can Welder to the Charizard. Yeah, we're definitely let loosing here. I'm just getting greedy. I think that was a misplay.
With the supporter.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. What is this nonsense? That needs to go.
Problem solved. Hey, I know how to moderate.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. They actually attacked. Interesting. Well, I mean, we're still definitely evolving. Okay. Now, here's a good question. Here or here? I think here.
I think you put it on the coughing so they're less likely to knock out the Frost Rotom.
I guess that's true. Now the other option that we have available here is we can Mysterious Treasure, go grab the Weezing, Cynthia, and try to hit something for the Marshadow.
I'm not even sure how much a Marshadow is going to hurt them. Now they have
Oh
slots
yeah,
set up.
yeah, their hands a lot better now. I think we kind of forego that plan.
Yeah, because all they have to hit is a Fire Crystal and they're fine.
Let's go down to Guzma, I think. Let's go down to Guzma. Okay. Okay. Alright, good. There's another spell tag. Go grab the Ditto.
Like the title of that card is just like, really?
And we have options for next turn if we want to go grab the Marshadow.
Too bad you didn't hit the Shrine.
Yeah, not hitting the Shrine really hurt.
From the GX?
I mean,
It's
if
a
you...
good closer.
How so?
The top attack.
Yeah, I
It
guess.
hits flat 250 for your last prize.
Well, Tapu Lele is going to be really good in this matchup.
If you can hit the Shrine.
Mm-hmm. Now the question is, where do I put these damage counters?
For which one? For the
Off of the spell tag.
spell tag.
I mean, we're getting knocked out.
Yeah. If he leaves the Salazzle on the active, you wouldn't have to put any on it, so... Zard has Outrage, which is a problem. How much HP does the Sandit have?
I think 60.
Just 60.
I could put,
2 on it,
yeah, 2.
and then put the other 2 on the
Dedenne?
I guess either that or the Slazzle GX. So yeah, 2 on him, and then either the Dedenne or the Slazzle GX. I think your goal this game is not going to be to knock out the Charizard.
Yeah.
To knock out everything else. Because your opponent's already put 6 prize cards out, and that Slazzle's energy isn't going to go anywhere.
And plus we have access to Frost Rotom if we really need it.
Hey, that's pretty good.
On time. I don't think a Rangaroo's in the deck, but we're definitely going for a Marshadow this turn.
Yeah, your opponent's got quite a few too many cards in hand.
Yep. Right, we did find counter energy too. That's good. I think I kind of want to hold on to it though.
Save it for Rotom.
Well, let's see what we get off this Lily. There's a shrine. That's great. We also have access to counter catcher. So, how much does Dedenne have? Just 1, 2. He's got access to Welder. So maybe what we could do is we could bring up the Dedenne and start swinging into that. Or is that a little too aggressive?
I'm not sure. All I know is you kind of want that Salazzle to be your last knockout, but at the same time, if you knock it out now, you stop their card draw because you're taking that and the Sanded.
Yeah, well, because if we knock this out, it's...
He keeps 2 energies, but he loses all of his draw support.
Well, he doesn't die this turn.
Yes, he does.
No, because he takes 40 and then 10 between.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So, yeah, that wouldn't get knocked out this turn. It'll get knocked out on the way back.
I think...
In that case, I think you hit that, and then you
The Dedenne?
No, you hit the Salazzle and the counter catcher next
Yeah.
turn.
Okay.
Because you can save the counter catcher for the Frost Rotom to hit something else. How's Frost Rotom damage work? It's based off your opponent's energy on board.
Yeah. There's a coughing, that's good. Attach to all your opponent's Pokemon.
Actually, that Frost Rotom can knock out Charizard.
Oh, they have the Acerola.
Aww. What are they gonna grab? Probably the same guy? Or the Salazzle?
This is why Mr. Mime's so good.
But yeah, if he, oh god. So yeah, that if he doesn't knock that Frost Rotom out, you can actually, attach counter energy, escape rope, and then counter catcher and murder that in the back.
Yeah, but do we want to do that? Because all we have right now in play is 2 counter energies.
That would be 3 prize cards and him losing 5 energies.
Yeah, I guess. That'll do it.
Don't even have to counter catch it now. Good. So
Now, here's the question. Okay, so damage counter time.
you promote the Weezing after this, but so let's put 1 damage counter on that Slazzle, so it gets knocked out on the way into your turn.
Yeah. And then,
Throw the rest onto.
I think.
He has an Acerola, so I think you want to split it between those 2.
Well, here's what, because we're gonna Cynthia anyway. We're gonna try to be able to find a way to go grab the Mr. Mime, because the Mr. Mime's in the deck.
Put 2 on the Salazzle GX and 1 on the Dedenne, so it's evenly split in case you can't hit it.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And then send up the Weezing
Yep. Because I can always just escape rope.
and counter catcher. The
Yep.
Weezing, yeah.
Because that's actually going to be better because it's going to thin out the deck too.
It also gives you a prize card to play with this turn. Wait. Oh, it's not a basic. I'm stupid.
This is why we do this, so we can learn
This
things.
is why I'm not playing Weezing. The more we know.
Okay, I really can't afford to put down the Mew.
Yeah,
I
don't
don't
put the Mew
think.
down.
Put down the coughing though.
Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead and escape rope counter catcher.
Yep.
It's really cold in here.
Yeah. It's cold all throughout the shop.
Wait. Oh, I thought that was Force of Will for a second.
No, it's Force of Negation.
So now you're turning my exile blue card from hand. Have to pay this card's mana cost. Counter target. Oh, it's a negate.
It's
Okay.
negate.
It's a negate that exiles.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad.
Okay.
Oh, we're getting the spoilers for it.
Yeah, prohibited and Fire Bolter
All
and
of
Water.
1,000 cuts.
Also fire.
Oof.
Lava.
Okay, so we couldn't get the Mr. Mime.
Lava, Dark Sun, Water now. So it's Goblin Matron. Can we talk about that?
Okay, that matters.
Couldn't get the Mime.
Aw.
That's unfortunate, but
But you get 3 prizes, which is good. I heard 300 damage is a healthy number. So Modern Horizon spoiler season just started.
yeah.
We have a Force of Will.
What does it do?
It's blue colorless.
Mm-hmm.
It's a negate that exiles instead of putting it in the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're casting it and it's not your turn, you can exile blue card from your hand at the base mana cost. So it's Force.
I like it. So my guess here is he Acerolas the Dedenne?
I think so. Yeah, otherwise we wouldn't have put that energy there.
What's up, Mr. Magic Judge?
What's poppin', B?
I'm playing some Pokemans.
Oh, so Lazel's hitting for 100.
This game causes me anxiety.
Pokemon online?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why? It's so
Just
much
regular
e-
Pokemon.
because I'm on the Pokemon team and I need to practice and I need to
no, I'm
stream.
saying, why does it cause him anxiety?
Yeah.
It's so much easier in Magic.
Let's see.
Promote the cough or the wheezing, I guess.
Like, nobody can act on
Well,
the
hold
other
on, let's see
person's
here, because
turn.
we bring up the
Ever.
Dedenne. Can we kill it that way? It's gonna be 40, 10 from. Yeah, no, that kills
Yeah,
it.
that kills it.
Yep.
We'll promote the.
No, yep.
Yeah, promote that.
Yeah, promote the coughing. Yeah, and then we just Guzma for game.
Yeah.
Nobody can act on the other player's turns. You can't get interrupted and blown out.
Yeah, you can't play on other people's turns, but they still make you pause in between every card your opponent plays. It's great.
Which is pointless.
And bye bye.
Like, there's no stack and no instant system. That's
Anymore.
That's pointless.
Anymore.
Anymore. We used to have it.
Yeah, that
Wow,
Frost
you're in
Rotom
a
was
slow
clutch. Yeah, now I was
Yeah,
just
that dude got way too greedy on that Charizard.
like he even saw the Frost Rotom.
I'm gonna leave now. I was just standing here because Sean will stay here and talk to y'all. So
Alright.
I was just trolling y'all by standing here.
Thanks, Brandon. Okay, we're definitely going first here. He's playing straight grass, so this makes me think it's this hand.
That's a good hand.
I mean,
Extremely playable.
yeah, it depends on what my opponent's playing though. It's Buzzmosa, so
Then-
just Shrine, Mysterious Treasure for what?
For a.
Marshadow, I
Marshadow.
guess. Yep. I don't think I bothered putting down the energy though. And I pitched the Shrine, I
Yes.
think. Yeah. Well, actually, if he's not playing Psychic, I think actually putting down the DCE is fine.
What would he gain from Psychic?
Access to Misdreavus or Mismagius, so he can pop the Mismagius, Beast Ring, and go off.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't think he's going to be able to do much of anything.
Also, Beast Ring goes off if he pops 2 as Magius is not 1.
Yeah, but like I said, he's not playing Psychic.
Yeah, I'm
so-
mostly hitting you for it's like, what, 60 this turn, I think? If he gets the Beast energy.
And we got the Mew. I wish we could have gotten a Rangaroo, but this
It'd
will.
be too easy.
I mean, it'll do. Go.
Hey, already winning.
We're doing things, kids.
Oh, he could have gotten the knockout. Okay.
Ooh. Alright, so he just goes early beast game. Got counter energy, so we're still okay. just throw it all in the active.
Well, I mean, he's probably playing Ace Rolla. Might want to split it. It's because you don't have a way to get mime out yet.
Yeah. We need a supporter like ASAP.
That honestly might be what loses the game, is just not getting a supporter.
Ugh.
Bright side, you can electric ball him if you attach the counter game.
I could.
300 damage.
Let's do it.
Don't let your memes be dreams.
Ugh.
That's an effective way to take a knockout. Because that actually kills him next turn.
No.
When I say next turn, I meant 2 turns from now, maybe. Probably not. I lied.
Andy's... Why?
I lied.
Andrew, we just got hosed.
Yeah. He's got that big magma energy is what it is.
Big magma energy.
Big magma energy.
Just retreat.
Wait, what's the music tag do?
Put 30 or 3 damage counters.
Oh, I thought it paralyzed or something.
Wait, hold on. How many counter energies? Just the one there. Yeah, that's fine.
It's Mime's attack that paralyzes. Yeah.
I mean, you can be able to heal it, but it's fine.
You can heal 60. What's up? It's your boy out here losing Pokemon to a dude who heals too much.
This just feels bad.
Oh, you're about to get flexed on. Wait, why do you grab the beast ring? I don't see you taking a prize card anytime soon. What was the point of that beast ring?
We in this.
Yes. Yeah, that was garbage.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh. Oh no. Oh no.
I guess we just flying flip. No, it's the electric ball.
I mean, if you flying flip, it doesn't do anything, does it?
Yeah.
Does it heal each foot? Does life force heal each foot?
From one. You stop that.
What do you grab?
Beast energy and
Lusamine?
yep, Lusamine Prism.
The generic ones?
Yep.
Hey, it's not helpful.
And just Cynthia.
You ever lose a game to your own deck?
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so we can rescue Stretcher for a coughing.
Alfie. I think you go ahead and Monsieur Treasure away the Guzma for an new coughing.
Yep. I don't think I worry about the mime yet.
I would get 2 Weezings down before you worry about the mime.
Yep. And I'm not gonna attach yet. I'm just gonna attack.
And I'm just short of knocking him out too after the stadium. Hey, you should have grabbed the mime.
What did I just say? You jack. I'm not sure what I can do here. We're still gonna try though. That's a Weezing.
The Weezing's not gonna last very long.
No.
You play the escape route.
Yeah, but I can't do
That's
anything.
right.
Well, I mean, if you play the escape rope, then he doesn't knock out your Weezing, and
Yeah.
it still spreads the damage.
I guess that's fair.
Because that Weezing's only going to hit for 40 because there's no damage on any of his other Pokemon.
Heal that 10 damage.
Do it.
You got Acerola, sir. Ugh, jeez. I don't think there's any way out of this, but that's fine.
Yeah, it's far too late to get out of this. You should go grab mine.
You know what? I think I might just do that. Hey, look, spell tags. Those would have been nice to
Hey,
have.
like a counter catcher.
Do I go for something else? Mysterious treasure for what? I could also let loose him again.
Do you have a second Marshadow?
Or no, I'm sorry. I thought he already knocked it out. What's in here?
You could grab an Orangaroo.
No, I can't. Mysterious
You're
treasure.
correct.
Actually, I'm not sure if I bench that. Let's see what happens.
Oh god.
If I had to guess, he's going to Life Force the active and then, or yeah, he's going to Life Force the active and then beat you to death with the back one after he uses.
He's got green.
Custom catcher, do it, do it.
It's a counter energy. How much does Frost Rotom do here?
110.
So I swing. Would even get close because that's 100. He heals. Let's see what left in the deck. Yeah, both of the shrines are in the deck, just haven't gotten them. That's just rough. No, that's dumb. Screw it. I don't know if there's anything I can do.
There's no right answer here. Outside of, I mean, if you really want to get extra damage in, you can counter catcher up the back one with 1 energy on it.
Yeah, because he's just going to heal anyway.
Plus he's got a Guzma, so he's going to put the other one in the active anyway. Probably knock out in the mine, so his ace rolls are back online. also an option.
Okay, so we promote the Weezing here. Wait to the party. Let's see, this would do how much? 20, 40, 60, 80, 100.
Plus 10.
Yeah, plus 10. So it wouldn't be enough to even make a dent. Make it 60. Yeah, it just brings up that one.
I mean, it would force the max potion.
The problem is that you would be playing an escape rope and he would send up the other one and kill you.
Honestly surprised.
I'm not. The thing doesn't have resistance.
Guess not.
Oh, it's because it's a bug type, not crest. Man, it was just bad draws.
Yep. Whatever. I'll take 4 packs. Why is this even a thing?
What is this?
The lobby?
Who doesn't have a cos block?
It's weird. Alright. I'm just gonna open my packs. Because I need to feel good about myself. That's not what my packs are. Alright. Hopefully I get something decent. Now I got a Sun and Moon pack.
Gold Ultra Ball.
Maybe.
Dare to Dream. Yeah, I was close. I was close, they're both rares.
Stop. Oh goodness. Alright, what do we got? Double rare. Hypno. Yeah.
Not bad.
Could be worse. 3 more to go. Another double rare.
I think that dude's gonna see some play. That seems pretty good.
Oh, the Ultra Force.
Yeah.
Huh. Seems interesting. Nothing. Last pack magic. Come on. There's something playable at least.
That's playable.
We take that.
We take those. That's pretty good. I'd run it.
That's a good way to end the stream. All right, so thanks for everybody for coming and hanging out today. Appreciate it. Had a little bit of trouble with Weezing in some parts, but I still like the deck overall. I think it's going to be good going forward. All right, so I'll see y'all next time.
Peace.